Okay, so this video is on our team pair solo, combining like terms and variables on both sides. So you can go ahead and pause this video and take the time to set up the next available page in your interactive notebook as I did in the picture here. Okay, make sure you include the title, team pair solo, combining like terms and variables on both sides. If you don't include the title, it will be of no service to you later as you study and you look back for examples. Okay, so the title is extremely important, and then be sure to go back and fill in your table of contents. I wanted to point out that when I was setting up this page, I kind of made a mistake. It's always a good idea to go and preview the problems to see about how much space you might need. You'll notice that my first column here is wider than my last, which isn't good because as you notice as I did the solo down here, the problems get longer. Okay, so you may want to be careful and maybe make this one skinnier and these ones wider. Okay, so go ahead and pause the video now and set that up. Okay, all right, so moving on to the team, make sure you follow along with the video and answer the Edpuzzle questions, and you'll complete these with me. Make sure you show your work just as I do. Writing in mathematics is very important. Okay, so with number one, the first thing I like to do is to separate the sides of my equation, especially now that we're dealing with combining like terms and moving the variable, because they're very similar, and the difference is, are they on the same side or on opposite sides? So the first thing you want to look for is, are there like terms to combine on the same side? So looking on this side, there are no like terms. Now if we look on this side, there are like terms, and I'm going to identify them with my highlighter. X and negative 6x are like terms because they have the same variable, same exponent. So now I'm going to use the integer song to combine them. This is positive, this is negative, so different signs subtract. 6 minus 1, remember if there's no number here, there's a 1. 6 minus 1 is 5, and I have to give it the sign of the higher number, and it's an x term. Then I'm going to bring down my plus 9 and my equal sign, and my x minus 3. So now I notice that there are no more like terms to combine, but I have x's on opposite sides. So I'm going to use inverse operations to move this positive 1x to the other side. So the inverse operation of addition is subtraction, so I'm going to subtract 1x. 1x is the same thing as x, so I just like to put it on there. When I do this, I have to combine like terms. Notice I will not subtract the 1x from the 9 because they are not like terms. Okay, so now these are same signs, so I add and keep the sign and I get negative 6x. Bring down the plus 9, bring down the equal sign. Inverse operations undo each other, meaning they equal 0, cancel out here, and I'm going to bring down the negative 3. Now my job is to isolate the variable on the side, so I'm going to move the constant over here using the inverse operation of addition and subtract 9 from both sides. Again, these equal 0. Bring down the negative 6x equals, same signs, add and keep, negative 12. Now this says negative 6 times x. People forget that. When there is a number next to a variable, it means multiplication. So the inverse operation of multiplication is division. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 6. Do not do the opposite of subtraction and divide by positive 6. You're doing the opposite of multiplication here, not subtraction. So this is times negative 6, therefore you divide negative 6. So x equals, a negative divided by a negative is positive 2. X equals 2. Okay? All right, so again in our next one, I like to divide the sides of my equal sign. So I'm going to look on this side. Are there any like terms on this same side? No, there are not. And so then I look on this side and there are like terms. So I'm going to identify them with my highlighter. I've got negative n and positive 4n. Whoops, sorry about that. Negative n and positive 4n are like terms. So I'm going to combine them. They have different signs, so I subtract them. And then remember, this is a 1. 4 minus 1 is 3. Give it the sign of the higher number. This is a positive 3n. and bring down everything on my other side. Okay, so now I'm going to move this positive 3n to the other side using inverse operations. So I'm going to subtract 3n from both sides, bring down the negative 3. These are different signs, so I'm going to subtract, giving it the sign of the higher number, and I get plus 1n equals, now kids right here are so used to, we don't write anything on, like in this example, we would just bring down the negative 3, but this equals 0, and there's nothing to bring down, therefore we have to write out the 0. Okay, so when something cancels out on the side and there's nothing left, it's 0. 0 is the same as nothing. So now I'm going to add 3 to both sides, doing the inverse operation of subtraction as I isolate my variable, and I get 1n equals 3. Now I can divide both sides by 1, but we know that n equals 3. 3 divided by 1 is 3. All right, in our final example, you'll notice it's getting, a bit longer here. Let me see if I can move this over. Oh no. Give me 1 second. It's not going to let me move it. Let's see, maybe it'll let me move it here. Oh, I have to end the show. My apologies. We've run out of room here. Okay. Now, so in this one, it's much longer, so hopefully you were able to squeeze it in. I'm going to separate the sides. Now, on this side, I'm going to look, I have some like terms here, plus 4 and plus 6. And then I'm going to look at the other side, and I notice that I have like terms here. And then this is also a like term, but I like to handle one step at a time just to avoid any mistakes. So I'm going to bring down my 8x, combining my like terms, same signs, add and keep, I get a plus 10. Bring down my equal sign and my 6x, different signs subtract, give it the sign of the higher number, I get plus 1, and bring down my plus 13. And I notice that I have another set of like terms here, plus 1 plus 13. And so I will bring down 8x plus 10. Notice in every step, I bring down everything that I haven't dealt with yet. 1 plus 13 is positive 14. So now that all the like terms are taken care of, I'm going to go ahead and move this positive 6x to the other side by using inverse operations of addition and subtract 6x, being sure I'm combining like terms. I would not take 6x from the 10 because they are not like terms. 8x minus 6x, different sign subtract, give it the sign of the higher number, positive 2x plus 10, equals, these equal 0, and I can bring down the 14. Now I'm going to subtract 10 from both sides. That's the inverse operation of addition. 2x equals 4. Divide both sides by 2. X equals 2. Okay, excellent. So now you're going to go ahead and solve these problems. Now you are able to lean on your elbow partner, but I prefer that you just check and confirm your answers with them. You don't want to completely lean on them. Try to do them yourself, and then you want to say, hey, what did you get on number 4? Now, if you got the same answer, chances are that you both got it right. If there's a discrepancy, you may want to have a conversation and go through each one of your problems to perform error analysis and fix your mistakes. It is very important that you are checking and confirming with someone else. That is part of the learning process, okay, learning from each other's mistakes. So you can pause the video as you complete that, and then when you are done with that one, you're going to complete the solo problems. And in this one, you need to put your cubby up and complete these entirely on your own. This is like a mini quiz and assessment. You must show all your work on your paper, and then you're going to submit your answers in the next section to be graded. Okay? Sorry about the space. Just do the best you can.